Stop before you crack that can. 5 common sardine brands are quietly trading purity for price. Think low-grade oils, mushy texture, and that odd metallic aftertaste that hangs around.
There's not an overwhelming fish flavor at all.
You're told wild caught and olive oil, but the truth is in the sourcing and the processing. In the next minutes, we'll map out the red flags: industrial-tasting fish, watery sauces, tough scales, and oils that do more marketing than nutrition, so you know exactly what to skip and why. Stay, because your calcium, omega-3s, and dollars deserve better than a staged label. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great, thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. Let's start with Beach Cliff. You crack it open, mushy fillets, big scales, a tired, watery pool. Cheap isn't a bargain when you're scraping scales off your tongue. The label looks clean, but the bite says rushed. Soft flesh, hard scales, sizes all over the map. If the basics slip, other corners probably did too. Here's why. Aggressive pre-cooking and long brine holds turn meat to paste and let scales cling. Thin sauce. That's dilution, less flavor, fewer fats. Low-grade soybean oil, often extraction-heavy, doesn't shield omega-3s like decent olive oil. Intact skin and bones should bring structure and calcium, but rough handling breaks that. Red flag. Limp texture, stray scales, weak liquid. You're trading structure, nutrients, and consistency for price. Now let's move on to a name you see everywhere and a flavor that often leans harsher than it should. From Chicken of the Sea, you expect clean brine and tender meat. Instead, you get dry slabs and a fishy hit that lingers. What changed? The truth is, processing aimed at long shelf life cooks the fish harder and longer. That pulls out moisture, degrades omega-3s, and leaves flesh that chews like overdone chicken. The logo calms you, but the oil tells on it. Lower-grade soybean oil, likely solvent extracted, doesn't shield delicate fats, so flavors turn harsh as the can sits. Wild caught shows up on the label, but it doesn't guarantee careful handling or fresher pack fish.
First up, we've got cloverleaf bristling sardines and olive oil. Ingredients: smoked bristling sardines, extra virgin olive oil, black olives, dried red bell peppers, salt, dried garlic, herbs, paprika. Because these are a little bit firmer and chewier, which is my preference, so I really like that.
1 can of clover leaf, lower tier lines, is fine. The next is off. Different size, different bite, different flavor. You didn't change, the lower tier line did. Here's the rub. Flexible sourcing and variable lot swing texture, brine strength, and oil quality. Contract plants across regions mean shifting species and seasons, so fish density, bone thickness, and firmness jump around. Some cans feel lean, others chew dense and stringy. Brine flips from salty to flat. Oil slides from okay to blunt. Those bones and skins tell you more than the label.
The sardine still has that firmness to it, even though it did seem a bit mushier. I almost want to say this one's got like a little bit of a kick going on. I think cloverleaf beat King Oscar on the Mediterranean. That Mediterranean flavor is like real punchy and coming through strong, but it's not overpowering the taste of the smoked bristling. I swear it's got like a little tiny kick to it. That Mediterranean flavor with those seasonings is really packed into this one, every single bite.
When bones run thick or gritty, you skip them, and with that, you lose calcium and vitamin D. Overcooking to push shelf life also trims omega-3s, so your intake becomes a guess. If the budget tier feels like roulette, it probably is. Consistency is a quality metric. Steady sourcing and clear specs beat a rock-bottom price. Now let's look at a bargain label that often tastes like the can worked harder than the fish. Serving size math can soften the mercury story, and smoke flavor is not real smoking. When a can is dry and fishy, it's process and oil. Let's talk about a line where budget tiers move the goalposts.
These are a can of Pampa sardines. I have never had these before. So this is what we're looking at. It has a very sardine smell, if that's a thing. We can see that there is a lot of brine. So as we can see, there is quite a lot of brine in this can. I would say there's nearly as much brine as fish.
In Pampa, you taste metal instead of the sea. Not a mineral sparkle, more like licking a spoon. That's Pampa's calling card in a lot of taste tests. Thin, watery sauce and a tinny finish that sticks. Here's the real kicker.
I am going to rinse these off. I'm going to put them in a small colander and rinse them off to try to get some of the salt off of them. They're actually kind of reminding me of anchovies, if you've ever had anchovies, because they're so salty.
Metallic notes rise when the can lining is thin, storage runs long, or the pack liquid is skimpy on fat. A watery medium doesn't buffer anything. It lets the can's edge and bitter tones shout. Higher grade olive oil can mellow that noise. Diluted or bland oils don't, and the fish pays the price. Taste panels reject metallic aftertaste fast. So if the first sip of oil tastes tinny, call it. Skip watery sauces and mystery oils. And finally, a brand that often serves big, industrial-tasting fish with spines you notice.
Lagos Sardines, guy. Philippine sardine. Oh wow. So, going to squeeze the lemon.
You open the can of Lego and meet oversized fillets with thick backbones. More fish looks like value, but the bite says otherwise. Bigger, older sardines run tougher and louder in flavor. The muscle is dense. Bones dominate. If the pack liquid is brine or a flat, low-grade oil, nothing softens. You get chew, not tenderness. Size drives taste and texture. Large fish need careful handling to keep fibers from tightening. Quality olive oil can round edges and help bones mellow. Brine won't. When bones stay thick and chalky, the calcium wind turns into a hurdle. Smaller, well-packed sardines dissolve softly. These don't. When the backbone steals the show, you're paying for weight, not pleasure. Look for balanced size and oil that actually supports the fish. Low price is often a process tax. You pay in rough handling, thin sauces, and oils that don't guard flavor or omega-3s. The fish loses, your bite does too. So read the label like it matters. Look for clear oil type, prefer extra virgin olive oil, skin and bones intact, and sourcing that actually tells you where it came from. If this gave you something to chew on, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who grabs cans on autopilot. Next grocery run, you're the investigator. Skip staged labels. Pick cans that respect the fish and your palate. The good ones make themselves obvious once you look.